Welcome to Gigi's Gluten-Free Cooking. I'm Gigi, the gluten-free grandma. The second recipe in the baking series is avocado blueberry muffins. Now, before you turn up your nose and say, "I hate avocados," please be assured that you can't taste the avocados, not at all. The reason I used an avocado in the recipe is because of the high nutrient content and to cut the quantity of oil required. I'm in remission from colon cancer and type 2 diabetes. I work hard on my diet to make sure I eat the best quality foods possible. By substituting half the oil required for these muffins with a medium-sized avocado, I increase the protein, fiber, and vitamins such as potassium, magnesium, B6, and vitamin C, while eliminating some of the sugar and reducing carbs. I also add lactose-free Greek yogurt and eggs to increase the protein content, in addition to adding the nutrients of the 2% lactose-free milk. I also substitute the sugar with Swerve brown sugar replacement. I use dried blueberries, which add fiber, iron, calcium, and vitamin C, in spite of them only adding small amounts of natural sugar. As with everything, it's a trade-off. I accept the small amount of sugar in favor of the antioxidant properties, protein, and fiber. You can use fresh blueberries if you fold them in the batter gently at the end of the preparation process. If you're going to use frozen blueberries, pat them dry and roll them in a dusting of tapioca starch before folding them in. My point is that these avocado blueberry muffins are a healthy alternative to commercial muffins, and they taste great. The texture and crumb are excellent. Now, you may be wondering how I achieve this masterpiece that would outshine any wheat-based muffin. Air, just like the tapioca cheese popovers. You need to get air into the batter. This time, the process is more complicated and requires several different techniques to achieve the best results. The key piece of equipment you need is a stand mixer. Nothing else seems to have the power necessary to get enough air into the mixture when the emulsification process is taking place. Baking truly is a science, but I'm going to show you all the tricks you'll need to make the magic happen. I know the stand mixer is expensive, but if you really want to do gluten-free baking, you will need to invest in one. Whether you pay full price, get it on sale, or buy it secondhand, you will need to own one to make gluten-free baking rival anything wheat-based. I highly recommend you read the recipe all the way through before you start, because there are things you need to prepare as you assemble the batter. The batter is prepared in 3 parts. The first part is the dry ingredients. The second part is the emulsified ingredients. And the third part is the liquid ingredients. Once all 3 have been prepared, you can begin to assemble the batter. This part has to be done as quickly as possible. The dry ingredients are 3/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons millet flour, 3/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons white rice flour, 3/4 of a cup plus 3 tablespoons tapioca starch, 2 teaspoons xanthan gum, 2 teaspoons baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon salt, and 1/4 teaspoon each of nutmeg, ginger, cloves, and allspice, or 1 1/4 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. I'm allergic to cinnamon, so I use the other spices instead. The emulsification ingredients are 2 eggs, 1 medium-sized avocado, which I have mashed, 3/4 of a cup of avocado oil, 1 1/2 cups of brown sugar replacement, I use Swerve, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. The liquid ingredients are 3/4 of a cup of buttermilk, or lactose-free milk plus 1 tablespoon of vinegar, and 1 cup of Greek yogurt. You will also want 1 1/2 cups of dried berries. I use blueberries. The advanced preparations needed include preheating the oven to 350, setting 24 foil muffin cups in 2 muffin tin trays. I recommend foil cupcake liners instead of paper to prevent any oil from leaking through. The third thing is to bring your eggs to room temperature. If they've been in the refrigerator, place them in a bowl of hot water for 10 minutes. If you have buttermilk on hand, please use it. However, if you don't, you can substitute 1 tablespoon of vinegar and 3/4 of a cup of lactose-free milk. Set it aside and let it curdle for about 10 minutes. Set your measured Greek yogurt on the counter and allow it to come up to room temperature as well. The first thing you should do is prepare the dry ingredients by measuring them all carefully and mixing them thoroughly. Then we can set those aside for use later. Remember to be very careful not to tamp down your flour. It will throw off your measurement and make your muffins very dry. I don't recommend using 1-to-1 flour blend because they contain too much starch. If you don't have millet flour, you can substitute sorghum or ivory teff, but I recommend leaving the white rice flour and tapioca starch as is. Part 2 is the emulsification process. We are going to emulsify the following ingredients using the whisk attachment of the stand mixer. First, mash a medium-sized avocado well and whisk it together with the oil on high until it is well integrated. Add the brown sugar replacement and vanilla. Whisk it again on high until the mixture is fluffy. Finally, add the eggs one at a time, whisking on high each time. When you are finished, you will have a mixture that is the consistency of fluffy butter tart filling before it's cooked. It is essential that you get as much air as possible into these ingredients. I'm just going to scrape down the sides, make sure that we have everything into the batter. It's well emulsified now, and everything is fluffy and creamy. There. Now that we've finished emulsifying, we are going to mix the liquid ingredients. We're going to take the yogurt and the buttermilk or milk and vinegar. Just fold them together gently. Again, we want to get as much air into the batter as possible. We're going to change the whisk to the paddle, and we're going to begin adding the wet ingredients to the dry, starting and ending with the dry ingredients. I'm going to start with the dry ingredients. I'll add approximately 1/4 of what we have measured, 3 good spoonfuls, and approximately 1/3 of the liquid mixture. I'm going to turn the stand mixer on low, medium, and begin to mix the flour and liquid ingredients into the emulsified ingredients. So I'm ready. Now that they're mixed, I'm going to add more of the dry ingredients and more of the liquid. Whoops! I wore some of it. I'll just push it down a little bit as we go. Now I'm going to finish by adding some more of the dry ingredients and the last of the wet ingredients. And now I'm going to add the last of the dry ingredients. Ooh, I can smell the cloves and the allspice. It's wonderful. Okay, I'm going to stop the mixer for a moment, and I'm going to lift it, scrape down the sides so we get all the flour in. From here on in, now that we've combined the liquid ingredients with the dry, we have to work quickly so that we keep as much air in the batter as possible. At this stage, the baking soda and the baking powder have begun to activate with the soured milk. So we want to give it one final mix. And now we're finished. After we scrape down the paddle, we are going to scoop the batter into the muffin tins as quickly as possible. But before we do that, there's one final step, of course. It wouldn't be blueberry avocado muffins if we didn't add the blueberries. So I'm going to just take my spatula and fold them in gently. When you're using dry, you don't have to worry about turning the batter green as you would with frozen or fresh blueberries. Okay, there we are. We have finished mixing everything together. Now I'm going to use an ice cream scoop to 1/2 to 2/3 fill all my muffin tins. After you have 2/3 filled each muffin cup with batter, work as quickly as you can. When all 24 muffin cups are full, get the muffin trays into the preheated oven as quickly as possible. I can't stress enough how important speed is at this stage because of the chemical reactions that are going on between the baking soda and powder and the sour milk. The longer you delay, the more air you will lose, and the flatter your muffins are going to be. Bake at 350 Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius for 30 to 35 minutes. Keep the muffin trays in the middle half of the oven. Test your muffins at the 30-minute stage with a toothpick to make sure they're done. If the toothpick comes away dry and clean, you can take the muffins out. If the batter still clings to the toothpick, bake the muffins for another 5 minutes. When the muffins are baked, remove them from the oven and set them on cooling racks for 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes, remove the muffins from the tins and set them directly on the cooling racks for 20 to 30 minutes or until they've completely cooled. The end product will be a light, fluffy muffin with a fine, dry crumb. They are incredible. I defy anyone to identify them as a gluten-free baked good. They are just that good. Yum. They can be stored in the refrigerator or frozen for later use. I reheat mine in the microwave for 15 seconds before eating them because I like them warm. They are so moist, they don't even need butter. They are an amazing and very healthy addition to any breakfast. They're also great for snacks. Thank you very much for watching our video. If you liked it and want to learn more exciting gluten-free baking tips, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you'll be informed when the next video is released. Please feel free to ask questions or leave comments. We're always excited to get feedback. This is Gigi, the gluten-free grandma, wishing you success in your baking. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video when we're going to discuss and bake cupcakes.